and welcome back to the Doctor Who Marathon. I'm your host McEdam, and today we're going to be talking about the Gallifrey story, Square One, written by Stephen Cole. This is the second story in the Gallifrey series, which sees Leela and Romana tackling some political struggles on Gallifrey, and also at this point Leela is the president of Gallifrey. This is the official Big Finish CD cover, which looks okay. It's not their best work, but you know. And then, as always with these Big Finish, I make my own DVD cover. I basically used the thing on that. It could have been a lot better, but you know, that's the spine if anyone's interested. And the back. This one I actually did cop up myself, so that's really cool. And I also designed the sort of cool logo there, which I think I've shown in the other Gallifrey story, Weapons of Choice. Now, in terms of canonicity, this story actually takes place a lot later than what we actually are going to tackle with the Sixth Doctor era, as this story actually revolves around the fallout of a particular battle in an audio drama called The Apocalypse Element, I believe it's called, which features the Sixth Doctor and Evelyn. However, I won't be tackling the Evelyn stuff. I know there's a huge Evelyn fan base out there, but I didn't have enough time to collect enough stories of her that I felt comfortable tackling her era, and so I'm going to skip her era for this marathon. And so, with nothing in this story that really hinders me from listening to it at this point, I'm going to listen to it at this point in the continuity. So yeah, that's some interesting point about the canonicity in this. So let's talk about the actual story at hand. Hello there everybody, Edam from the future here. I'm afraid I keep getting the names Leela and Romana mixed up. So sometimes I'm referring to Leela as Romana, and sometimes I'm referring to Romana as Leela. I was in a rush when I made this, so I do apologise. I'll write down which name I mean, but I do apologise. I know this is really embarrassing, but there you go. It sees Leela trying to organise a collective meeting between a bunch of time-sensitive creatures. One of them being an alien race their planet was almost destroyed by the Daleks, but was rebuilt by the Time Lords. And so Romana sets up this council, shall we say, and she has an ambassador for each civilization to go there, with Narvin being the main leader. She also sends Romana on a little side quest in case there's been any conspiracy against this treaty, that somebody might benefit from this committee from failing. And so Leela's been put in there as a dancer, as entertainment for the guests to try and try to work out who's working against Gallifrey, because some people might not want this, who might actually hate Gallifrey, because there's this stigma that Gallifreyans and Time Lords are xenophobic and they actually hate all their races, and there's some sort of conspiracy that's going around. So that's why Leela is put there. And Leela's part of the plot is kind of interesting. She becomes a kind of detective to this plot as she befriends another dancer, a person who's already been there, and they take a nice liking to each other. There's also this slobby, degenerate creature that takes a fancy to Leela, one of the ambassadors, who basically wants Leela to dance specifically for him, if you catch my drift. And so Leela tries to work out what's going on, only to find the dead body of one of the girls that she was speaking to, only for then the day to restart, and she's meeting all these characters again, which is very absurd. And so yeah, something is strange and something's going on. It's also here that we meet the leader of this particular council. I can't remember her name. Gridnia. The name's not on the back of this, but anyway, she is this, for the most part, an unimportant character. She's just there to make sure that all of the ambassador stuff goes as planned. And during the first run-in with time, an argument kind of breaks out between Narvin and one of the dialects who believe that the Time Lords were only helping this race just to help themselves, to take advantage in some way, shape or form. And we see the scene start to play out, and they argue and bicker until Leela sends a message, and it's like, stop quarreling, you children, and just get on with it. We need peace. We need a moment of peace. Do you want a war to break out? And then it calms down a bit before the arguments really kick up again. However, when the time reverts, when the time goes back to square one, which is the title of the story, before the arguments can kick off, Narvin actually starts coughing. He can't get his words out because he's struggling to breathe. And so this other character then, this third word actually interrupts, and it's like, I think what Narvin's trying to get is that this adjugation might be justified, but we still can't blah 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 blah. And so time has changed, and Leela, realizing what's going on, sends a message through to Leela, who both K9s with each of their respective owners, with Leela having K9 Mark 1 and Leela having K9 Mark 2. And some of my favourite moments in this story is Leela's K9 referring to, not Leela, Romana's K9 referring to Leela's K9 as, I just realised I've got all the names mixed up. Anyway. One of my favourite parts in this story is that Romana's K9 refers to Leela's K9 as the inferior model, which I find absolutely hilarious. So Leela basically tries to find out what's going on, and when she investigates, she believes the blobby man who wanted her to dance might be behind all this. And when she goes into his room to investigate, she finds photos of dead people, specifically the dead girl that she will later find, who's now alive. And so time goes back. However, Leela still has some sort of memories, and she still has the photos, to which she shows to the girls, and they're like, this is really upsetting, this is really disturbing. And so Leela, to try to prevent this death, confronts this blobby, disgusting man, and he confesses that he did kill her, but it was purely by accident. There's no conspiracy going on. He just wanted her to dance for him, and it got a bit out of hand, and then she was abruptly murdered. And so Leela's like, what's going on? He's not though there is a murder here and we found the murderer, there's still some sort of conspiracy going on. Who is doing these time travelling, going back in time and stuff. It's later then revealed, maybe disappointingly, in my opinion, that the villain of this story, the one who's reverting time back again, is the head of this council, this one that's getting all the ambassadors to try and work with each other. And whilst here they soon discover that the person that was arguing with Narvin actually planned to kill Narvin, as he later explains that his race actually found some codes in the rebuilding of their planet by Gallifreyans, and this code will allow them to easily and quickly disintegrate their planet. So Time Lords can basically blackmail them or held them for ransom if they so choose. And first Narvin completely denies this and is like, this is just a conspiracy to provoke fear and terror by the council, for the Council of Gallifrey, so that none of you trust them. And they before he can do anything, they arrest him, the blobby, the man Narvin was arguing. But Leela actually turns up and finds out that this woman has been going back in time, and she basically explains that she's trying to lead up this council to go to one specific side of the argument to try and reveal as much dirtiness of Gallifrey as much as possible. And so she reverts back time and stop things which would prevent her from going to her side of the way. However, Romana basically explains that the council was a stage, it was a front. This actual council was never actually the main purpose of the council. She and the real leaders of these races met up in a secret council which nobody knew about apart from them. So like if anybody was trying to assassinate them or trying to disturb these meetings, they would have actually disturbed this fake meeting. However, she does learn that Narvin actually did plan these codes on this planet, and so with respect, she actually hands the secrets of this code so they can defuse it to them. To which all the other Gallifreyans, all the other Time Lords like Narvin and Beetletrax have a go at Romana, who they believe has made Gallifrey weakless, defenseless. If this race want to overthrow Gallifrey, we now don't have a bargaining chip. But Romana, I keep getting the names mixed up. Romana is like, we need to trust our allies as we need to trust ourselves and our friends and all that. And she thinks that she's made Gallifrey stronger, which is pretty ironic. Yeah, because this was 2004. This was before the idea of a time war was even a thing. So looking this back, it does actually feel like Romana is actually weakening Gallifrey's defences, because in her timeline she would be the head at the start of one of the biggest wars in the timeline history in the Doctor Who universe. So yeah, that's a pretty big deal. And the story really ends with Leela now back on the planet, and Romana's like thanking her for her part in the role, and she and Leela is like, you feel tired, you must be wearing out. And Romana makes a comment, and Leela thinks it's an insult at first, but really Romana is actually grateful of Leela, and the two girls become great friends at the end of this story. And that's square one. Overall, it's a pretty forgettable plot. It's a good plot. It's got a nice, good conspiracy. It's got nice, good thriller moments. But there's nothing really meaty here. And I think the main issues is that the villains of this story weren't really up par with the ideas of its storyline. And so I don't think there's a lot much to talk about this one. It's a good story, I do recommend it, but it's not particularly like amazing or the best. You might listen to it, enjoy it, and then just move on with your life. And there you go, that's square one. So join me next time where we will be listening to some music as the Doctor is in distress. And I'll see you next time on the Doctor Who Marathon. Ta-da!